Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. And I welcome you to this program. While you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join for a very quick one. I am not going to take much of your time, but I am here to speak on an important issue that I have actually come across. I want you to also understand. Of course, the last time I came out to make a broadcast about the issue of the downgrade in Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's Lego team. Some people actually believe that I had any communications with Barrister Joffer or any of them, but no, I do not have any communication with Barrister Joffer, of course, and I am also very, very, shocked when he made the write-up he made a few days ago. Was it today? No, today, sorry, not a few days ago, that he made today, earlier in the, I believe in the morning of Biafra time. Now, when you look at what is going on in Nigeria, you will understand that everyone is lamenting, everyone is crying, everyone is, soiling. Like, there is no happiness, there is no, joy. Niger people no get joy anymore. And why they no get joy? Why Niger people no get joy? I want you to understand that that na karaka de in my language. That means it says that when a war or when any uprising is planned, that anybody who is lame or crippled will start on time to prepare, to run, or to defend themselves. That's exactly what I just said. And then it is important for us to know that a stitch in time saves 9. A stitch in time saves 9. While we are now seeing the result of what we have been talking about over the years, it is important for us to know that a stitch in time saves 9. And if you will understand that whatever we come out to say, if you don't understand it, if you don't see the the result from it, you will eventually understand it by seeing it happening. By seeing it happening to you, or by you feeling the impact of such things. For a few years now, we've been talking about Fulani and their Ruga, Fulani and their plans to take over the country called Nigeria. Even though, the most interesting part in the story is that Fulanis were not indigenous people. Fulanis are not indigenous people. But today, the Fulanis are now the people who actually, call the shot, who speak what happens in a country where they are not indigenous. It is very, very problematic. And we understand that when we talk about Pan-Africanism, we need to also realize that there has been several seeds that is planted amongst us that are not African origins, that are not originally Africans. And they will continue to sabotage everything that you real Africans want to do in order to help and foster growth in the African society, or to actually empower the African children. It will not happen. Now let's talk about it. Fulani people has been holding the power in Nigeria for, more than 6 decades. Are Fulani people rich in general? Are Fulani people, empowered? I mean the ordinary Fulanis on the ground, not the few politicians. Are they empowered? The answer is no. They are not empowered. They are not doing well for themselves. If they come to your land, they decide to stay in a bush or make a shack and stay in a bush. Now, what is the reason for that? Because they are not even empowered by these few individuals in political space who represent them. Remember that they are not indigenous, but they are controlling the status quo. They are controlling the system, and the system is not favorable to you. It is not even favorable to the Fulani people. So now, if the system is not favorable to all these people, then what are you actually forcing for? Because if you look at the average Fulani politicians, when they come online, they will act like they are defending, they are fighting to protect the Fulani, ordinary good Fulanis on the street, or ordinary good Fulanis if there is any, in their communities. They will be speaking as if they are speaking for the sake and the benefit of ordinary one on the ground. But they are not even, going there. They are just hypocritical. They are hypocritical about everything. Because the Fulani that are on the ground are not empowered. They are not even, there is no development around them. That's why they all resolve into bearing arms and ammunitions, people who are kind of, oppressed. The Fulanis are seriously oppressed by their own political elite. Do you know how? Because they are oppressing them. They only want to use them as a weapon of war. That's the only reason why they are oppressed. I still don't understand why the Fulanis are not opening their eyes. I still don't understand why they are not actually opening their eyes to come to the realization that these few individuals, whether they are leading you from Dubai, whether they are leading you from United Arab Emirates, whether they are leading you from wherever, Sahel region, wherever they are leading you from, whichever nation where they are actually, sitting and calling the shot and telling you they are somewhere praying, and calling the shot and directing you into bearing arms and ammunition to destroy the lives and the livelihood of ordinary people who has committed nothing in the name of Allah. Say. Now, you will now ask yourself, those ordinary Fulanis that are not empowered, which is an institution for them to create weapons of war through them, why are they not thinking for themselves? It comes to religion. It comes to religion because religion is always a tool that they will always use, stimulate your mind. Now plant a seed that grows even faster than your mind. And when they begin to pluck that seed, it simply means that you are under their control. Now they are plucking the seed on top of your head. You are under their control. Everything that they want you to do is what you do. In the name we are doing it for God or we are doing it for Allah. which all of them, because of their, the fanatic nature, or extremist, these people are extremists, like religious extremists. Because of that extremism that is actually in all of them, they will believe that, no, let us do it for Allah. Our penance or our blessings is not on this earth. Our blessings is on the other side. People believe that it is only Christian religion that tells people that your blessing is not here. Your blessing is on the other side. While the blessings of these people who are oppressing you stays here. It's not only Christianity. In fact, every religion. That is to show you that God had never had a plan for religion. Because religion divide. Religion actually, when you think about it, you will find out that religion divide people. Religion instigates. Religion, deals with your mind. In fact, they work on your mind. Religion has a lot of, branches with which they are using to actually stimulate your mind with negativity. Now, I want you to understand that the Fulanese, the reason why they cannot stand up to react today and to question the status quo, which make many, majority of them to be poor, while minority of them are on top of anywhere they go. They only, buy them, guns and bullets, and if need be, explosive to actually use to threaten peoples, and then they staying in the bushes. Why? Is that love? That is the most way of self-hating yourself. Now, and they continue in the last how many century, Fulani has continuously been searching for how to go in, take over the land. Go in, take over the land. Go in, take over the land. Fulani can never wake up and say, let's make use of the one that we have taken over. Let us develop it so that we will build an economy. When we go out to take another one, then we will have something to feed us while we are taking the other one. No. Or we will have support of those who don't like us because we are invaders. You will not see them develop anything. It is like, do you understand? Like, you refuse to move away from the road. You refuse to walk. Like, you are a stumbling block. That's what Fulanese has been amongst many African countries, especially in Saharan region. So when you think about it, why are they in your decision making? Like decision making for over 1 century. For over, okay, let's be realistic, let's take it to democratic or independent, for over 6 decades. They've been in your decision making. Yet, those that are most hated, which is the Igbo people, those that are actually, there was a plot that Nigeria plotted to eliminate and send them into extinction. In fact, these things was the plan of the amalgamation of 1914. It was exactly the plans of amalgamation of 1914. Since these people are actually not allowing us to, come into their, and take over and control them and rule over them, Let us actually, deploy this strategy. Let there be amalgamation. We will give power to other people, so that these people will now be in control of the indigenous. The visitors becomes in control of the indigenous people. Now, why do you think these visitors, their plan coming closer to you was to take over your land and emasculate you? Now, fortunately for them, they were, they saw an olive branch gained from Britain. Let us give these people, the power. Let's, bring our own way of politics. Amalgamation. From amalgamation, the power of gun and bullet, police and army in the hands of the invaders. The indigenous people now have to succumb to the decisions of the invaders, whether they like it or not. And it has been happening. That's why, the reason why they are very, very calculative, because they know that immediately when you start talking about secession in that, in Nigeria or in any other part of Africa, they will tell you, you are the biggest economy, you are the largest population, your population is going to help you in the buying power of in the global stage, in economic wise, and togetherness is power. Now they will start quoting all these Pan-African quotes for you, because they know that there is always a leverage that they will set aside that will not allow a black African child to rise up from their slumber. There is always something that will pull them down. Now listen to it. You say to yourself, we are Pan-African. We say to ourselves, we need to unite ourselves against against the common enemies. Now you will find out, or you will discover, that there is a system that is already placed or put in place, so that when you talk about what will solve your problem, it will look like you are working against the unity of this Africa. Or now you are not working on the unity, because they say, there is a saying that says that when you are carrying another man's carcass, it will look like you are carrying a piece of wood, a piece of firewood. When you are carrying another man's carcass, it will look like you are carrying a piece of firewood. Now, all this while, we are pinpointing our problem. Where is it coming from? What it is, why is it happening? Everybody will continue to keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. Especially the African leaders. Especially the African leaders. Because there is a saying that says charity begins from home. If you cannot get this charity around you in Africa, you will never I don't think you will get it from Europe or even Asia or even anywhere. The charity begins from home. Now, all the African leaders, some of them, when you present the case, they will tell you this continent needs to be united. We don't need more division. When they say it, I laugh. I laugh. Question I normally ask some of, them that I might have access to speak to directly. I will always ask them, you are talking about, let's not, continue to divide us. It is time for us to unite us. Now, let me ask you a question. If you want to be a Pan-African, I believe you will be eating, those locally, made rice, or locally made all these, beans, or any other thing that is locally made. You will be eating them, including locally made. Will I say in Biafra land we have green, we have umborode, which is water leaf, we have ogo, which is pumpkin, the way they call it. We know there is something called pumpkin. But now when you want to eat the organic one, let's say you are plucking it from the farm, or you are getting this local rice, organic local rice from the farm. Of course, or when you are buying the local rice, you will have to actually select the chaff that is amongst the wheat. Reason being, we do not have, the artificial intelligence that will help us to manage all this separation of chaff amongst the wheat. So it becomes extra job because it's a manpower that we are using. Now, they have to now, do it however way possible. Then when you buy those rice, you need to separate chaff amongst the wheat. Because if you don't separate chaff amongst the wheat, when you are eating such rice, the wheat is going to actually, put you off eating this rice. It will not enable you to enjoy the meal. What am I trying to say? There are some elements of anti-development Africa that is amongst these African nations that we are actually, compelling ourselves or educating ourselves that we must unite with. And if you missed, there is something, or there is a wise saying that says, is it a drop of mosquito will ruin a drum of water? Just a drop of mosquito will ruin a drum of water. So, when you bring the chaff into the wheat, it will make such things to lose value. It will make such things, to be useful the way it should be. So that's why when we present our case, we continue, to talk about we are not anti-Pan-Africanism or Pan-African movement, the quest to unite Africa. We are not against it. But it is very, very important for you to understand that there is something you must remove from every meat before you eat the meat. So if we are going to actually unite, we unite people of like minds. You're uniting people that are having different plans or different, mindsets. It will never yield any breakthrough for African development and growth. Rather, it will be about who is going to be the leader. It is going to be about who are marginalizing you. It is going to be about you are taking, it is going to be about, complain from there, complain from that. You only unite people of like minds. You see, once upon a time, there is a place called European Union that it consists of other nations of Europe and Britain. And Britain saw that no, we can step out and be on our own. We are no longer going to be part of European Union. They separated. Now, there is still European Union. The one that does not agree with the minds of the majority, with the opinions of the majority, decided to break free or to break away so that it does not hinder their own plans and the growth or economic plans and, maybe other conquest that they have in mind. So it is important for us to know that we can only unite Africa when we are able to find Africans of like minds nationally. If you find a nation that their plans is actually, compatible with yours, you work together. If you agree, if two agree, they will be able to work together. Otherwise, you cannot. Now today, the Fulanese cannot empower themselves. The Fulanese cannot do anything for themselves. They're still fighting over power. Let this money be close to us. The only thing they do with money, as long as it is close to them, buying weapons, sponsoring people in the bush, and now making people's life miserable, taking people, traumatizing people, and that is what they do. Why are they not thinking of development? They don't even believe in Western education, yet they are promoting Western agenda. You don't believe in Western education, still you are promoting Western agenda. That means there is something fundamentally wrong with these people. We cannot actually think alike. We cannot employ or deploy alike. There is nothing that unites us with the activities or the behavior of these people. Then why are we forcing ourselves to be amongst these people? Because these people are like setback to our own goal. We cannot see it. So many people who are overly educated, or maybe they believe that they are overly educated, when you talk about them, about this issue of how to solve this conundrum called Nigeria, of our amalgamated Nigeria of 1914, how do you solve it? Now, you find people telling you division is not the solution. If division is not the solution, why did you continue to preach for peace and unity prior to the date of independence? To date, more than 6 decades, peace and unity, peace and unity, peace and unity, peace and unity. As if peace and unity is a prayer that is going to lead you to the 4th Industrial Revolution. As if peace and unity is a prayer that will elevate a nation economically. Peace and unity is going to bring, good governance and infrastructural development. No. What we know about is peace and unity. Now it is now a campaign trail. If a person who wants to rule over this contraption called Nigeria, the first thing they will start preaching, we are going to bring peace and unity, law and we're going to bring equity and fairness. Peace and unity, equity and fairness. When it comes to campaigning for the people of the Eastern region, they will tell you they will bring equity and fairness. That's what they will come to tell you in order to convince you or manipulate you into another 8 years of suffering and 8 years of I don't want to mention 8, but the 8 years of captivity. It continues to actually stretch. They will build another lie, which is like the same lie they told you previously. I will tell you the same lies, but in a more refined or more updated manner. Because the only thing these people learn from technology is to how to refine a particular lie to be, so that it will be told as if it is a brand new lie. Because the people who are hearing these lies, they do not, pay attention to the history. How will they pay, attention, or how will they understand the present if you cannot pay attention to the, to the history? Your yesterday determines what today is going to be like. So if you cannot understand your yesterday, there is no way you are going to pick up what today is going to be like, or even understand that what transpired yesterday is still repeating itself. Why? They will refine it and sell it to you, you buy it. Peace and unity. When they come to Eastern region, equity and fairness. When they go to the north, because the northern people, they know that without the eastern region, they know that they are doomed. Even their food, they will eat it. They will farm and eat their food. Now, they go there, they will tell them we are going to bring peace, unity. We are going to unify the country. Now, when they go to the west, when they go to the west, they will tell them we are going to beautify Lagos. We are going to, make Lagos the center of the excellence of the world. That's it. They know in their heart they ain't gonna do no shit. That's why each and every time they come out, they lie through their teeth. They lie through their teeth, and you continue to believe them, because they know that you are always focusing on how to navigate this hardship. This present day of 1 cup of rice, 250. How do we navigate it? You will be on it without actually, looking up, in fact, thinking about the broader spectrum of how to navigate this problem that has befallen us. Why are you always thinking about 1 cup of rice problem? Go, at least try to think about how do we solve it for good. That is human being. That is human being. If we cannot think like a human being, then what are we? We are like animals. So, if you are always focusing on the small problem you are going to solve and forgetting the primary solution that will be everlasting solution, you will continue to try to navigate 250 naira cup of rice only, and it will get to 500 eventually. You will continue to fight that cup of rice. How do we navigate it? And you navigate it. Now you settle in. Another challenges come. You continue to fight. Because when they go to, to get to their advisors or their handlers, they will tell them, just give them 3 months or 6 months. Just 6 months, they will settle in. These people are very resilient. When you begin to hear, people telling you that you are very, very hardworking, that you are actually the one all over the place, you are no longer dependent on the government or anything to survive. When they start telling you, I want you to scale such, praise. Scale it and understand which angle is this praise coming from. Is it coming from the angle of the enemy trying to lure you into hardship, into a life of imagination, into a life of now let's take risk? Because that's the only way. No. You should begin to think, why are you telling me this? Where you come from? Why are you not working hard in order to live as a human being? Abaka mumbo egoni, you know it. No matter how much, if you hustle, you get money for food. You will not get luxury through hustling. But if the government make everything to fall in place, in order, people are actually taken into their job, positions, their professional positions, by merit. By merit. You will find people, there are people who are actually, getting small amount of money, but they are happy with it. They don't even want to go forward or backward. They are just happy where they are. Then those people, they will fit in where their merit is. Those who are actually having the mind of transformation, they will be fit in where they're supposed to be by merit, not by nepotism. Now, if such things, and there is house allocations, there is a development, youth empowerment, there is all-round development, believe you me, there will be nothing like inequality, because everybody has access. Everyone will be having access to special amenities. It is a place where it is not going to now be a privilege. It is something that you know that it is a need. It is a must. It is a necessity. Everybody must have access to a quality health care. Everybody must have access to a drinkable water. Everybody must have access to, to connect to a sewage system. Now, we don't have access to these things. When people even lose their loved ones, they bury them inside the yard, inside the compound. And they still dig borehole inside the compound. Then when the people try to, dig, a toilet, they dig the soakaway inside the yard. The borehole or well is on the other side of the yard. Do you imagine the type of bacteria, the type of disease, germs that you are accumulating into your body every day? Do you imagine it? Sometimes, luckily for you, because you started it as a child, maybe you will be immune. You will be immune to it. It comes, but it does, you struggle with it. A few days later, you are fine. Now, if there is a child that was born in abroad, if they come back home and they grow up a kind of, to their adolescent age, and they go back home, when they stay there, they will not be adapted because they don't have the immunity that the child who grew up in such area will have. Now, you find them getting sick, and you find them even, some of them dying because of the type of environment they are exposed to. Because there is always something contaminating something. There is no city planning. There is no town planning. There is no urban planning. There is no rural planning. There is no planning in any part of Nigeria. Everywhere, every time is a tea time. What type of a country is that? A country that is led by Fulani. And Fulani, their primary obligation is to mobilize people, give them gun, go into the bushes, start, destroying the lives and the livelihood of others. That's what they are doing. And these same people are actually the ones in charge. Now, if you as you Nigerians are folding your arms now, thinking, it is, after all, for 8 years. 8 years, go worse pass now, the other one. You go to continue to worse pass. After all, 8 years. That's what you use to console yourself. If you continue, after this one, it is going straight to the hands of Fulani again. And there is nothing you can do about it. It is going back to the Fulanis. And they might not release it again. Remember, they normally take it for 8 plus 8. They take it 8 plus 8, which is 16. 16 years. They take it for 16 years. They will now think about who is a good candidate that served them diligently. And those who serve them diligently must not be the ones from Igbo extraction, because even no matter how much you serve them as from Igbo extraction or even Biafra extraction in general, they will never give you the first citizen. No matter how much lives of your people you ruined, no matter how much life of your people you have taken, it will not make you to be the first citizen. but they will look towards the west, the people who they put on the block, in the middle. Because what they use the Yoruba people to do in several or in many occasions is to use them as the people in the middle, the man on the leash. Or will I say the man on the leash? No. I will say the man, the people on the periphery. Like we can bring them from periphery, give them, once we are done with them, we put them back to the periphery, we continue. As long as they are actually, answerable to us. They are not patriotic to the other side, which is the Biafra side, because, of course, Yoruba people are the people who are holding Nigeria together. Because they are still in the denial, because they give them first citizen once in a while. Once in a while they give them, maybe after 16 years, they give them, they will tell them or maybe 24 years, they will tell them, just try. Maybe the one that is coming will be after 24 years, not even 16 anymore. Are you getting the point? So now you will understand that they will just give them, knowing that they will not do much about it, with it. After all, no matter what they do, if they take it again, they take it for 24 years. They reverse everything that was done by the previous administration. They reverse it. It doesn't matter to them. It's not their money. These people are actually visitors. They are not indigenous. They are not originally. They are not, they are not original people, owners of the land. So they don't care. What they are there is to, plan one thing, to make sure they block economic growth and opportunity that will come into the country. So in so doing, Yoruba people will be thrown back to the periphery. And maybe people like Sunday Igboho will come out, and people like Obasanjo, Tinubu, and all of them will gather and bring him to be cold like ice water. Are you paying attention? Telling them that, no, we are going to do it politically. And I be Jagaban now. I be Baba Lagos. The other one is Baba Londo. So you will be thinking about all these things. You will be seeing how they will start promising their people there is something. There will be no empowerment on anybody. Promises upon promises. Yoruba people still continue to be on the periphery. Believe me, it is few Yoruba people that are doing great, politicians, and they've inherited and benefited from politicians. That's it. The Nigeria does not understand, no matter how much you try to oppress the people of Nigeria, your people will never be better than the people of Biafra. Even though they are the most oppressed, there is something called, economic disparity. It affects them the most in Nigeria. But your people that you believe that has this economic opportunity will never be brighter, will never be successful, will never be, wealthy like a Biafran man. Why? And we take that wealth to their land and develop for them, leaving our own in destitute. Now I remember the songs of Solomon. My brothers have made me to watch over their own, their own land. But my own land, I have not watched over it. Have you seen the way it is? That is exactly what it is. They make you a watchman of your own land, of their own land, while others, your own land is being taken over. That is the reason why there is always a wisdom in the scripture. Because when you look at the way things happen from the past, it is the same way it is continuing. And it talks about the oppression of these particular people. And it talks about how they renew their principalities and how they renew their powers. Through one lie, they will come to the podium to tell you. They will now win your heart. You say, let's give it a try, another 8 years. And I have told you, and I will repeat it again. Now, you see now you voted Jagaban into the position of leadership. Dollar flew from 500 or 600 or 700 when it was the missing in action man. Medical checkup president was there. The dollar flew from 250 or 2 something to 500. Now this one come in. Dollar flew from 500, I think, to 1,000. I don't know, or 7, whatever, or 7, whichever amount it is right now, and I don't care. Dollar flew to where it is. After 8 years, the people who actually, position dollar where it must be against the naira, they will be working diligently. They will be working diligently. Once this one is done, they will now position dollar where it is going to be in the in the next couple of election, or in the next person that is going to, once they peep who is going to be there, oh, that man, let's beat him up. That is our boy, but let's just show him pepper. Let's just manipulate the naira. They will bring it down so that he will start grappling. He will not know what we are going to do in the economy. They will, before he knows it, we have gone far. Maybe highest their court will find me. We'll give them $10 million. That one finish. But you will not know how long have they been manipulating naira, because you are busy chasing, a cloud. Benjamin Amin, criminal like you, family member DOS. Benjamin Amin. We are not talking about DOS. We are not talking about any organization. We are talking about our own problems in Nigeria. And you come here to talk about DOS. That means you are, probably from the criminals that try to destroy the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's establishment. Now, Benjamin Amin, maybe you are autopilot, maybe you are whoever you are. You should also be reminded that no matter how much you try to deceive people, when you are pointing someone with this, you see the way this one is pointing at me, it is pointing at you. If Nigeria is decaying, it is decaying for your own, your own children. If Nigeria is big, if things change or turn out to be good, it is going to be good for you and your own children. Of course, Benjamin Amin, you are one of those Fulanis. Maybe you are one of those who are benefiting from the real activities of the political elite, if you are not one of them. Because these elites are the people who get upset so much when we talk about this, or those people that are actually being controlled by them while giving them peanuts. We know all you people's activities in the name of we are following Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we are following Nnamdi Kanu. All of these activities in the name, they are official activities in Nigeria. They are official duties for Nigeria. That's why, no matter how much you shift them, no matter how much the zoo try to pretend as if they are not working with these people, you will come back to find out they are working with these people. No matter how much they will come to the media, act like they are making noise. These are people who are very, very, official, working for Nigeria government. But they haven't been able to, do anything, destroy the legacy of Nnamdi Kanu or anything. You haven't been able to do so. and you will never, succeed. You will never succeed. You have time in the world, the time you're supposed to use to actually, think about all these political leaders of you Fulanese. Because if your name is Benjamin Amin, it means you are a Fulani. All these political elites that are giving you people guns and ammunition to go into the bushes and be buying people anyhow. You will not think about why don't they send their own children into the bush to give a gun to be buying people anyhow. Why don't they do so? Because it's always the case. So that is by the way. Now, the reason why I actually decided to take you round and take you down to the memory lane and bring you back to the situation currently, it is because those people who still believe there is something good that will come out of Nigeria, they should start rethinking, because those who actually, made a mockery of us when we continued to advocate for referendum to be conducted. They believe it is a political ambition that they have, that it is going to help them. Look at that. Asare Dokubo. Look at that. Asare Dokubo is crying now. Let us hear this.
Something very serious is happening. And our so-called political elites and leaders do not care. They're not doing anything about it. They feel very unconcerned about it. Our political elites do not care about it. Our people are left rudderless, tossed here and there by the tempest and the winds of the sea. Nobody cares. Every day we hear stories of thousands and thousands of Futajelong Kambari Fulani being transported by every means of transportation down into our land, down into the John Nation, down into Igbo land, down into Shekere land, down into Ogoni land, down into Yoruba land, down into Edo, every day, in the most unthinkable fashions, in their thousands. If you go to Bayelsa today, as I'm talking, all the fishing settlements and the farming villages are occupied and controlled by these fellows. We are young people, we are strong, we came here, nothing is going to happen. A man is only strong when he's with his people, when he has enough number to overcome his enemy. We should not underestimate these people. They have our money with us. They have been receiving tons and tons of our money. They have brought our batch and stole and sharing it amongst themselves. A minister in a federation came to say that sharing the money in the north because there are no poor people in the south. And where are our governors? Where are our local ministers? Where are our women rights ministers? Where are our women rights lawyers? All of them, they close their mouth. But this is more sinister. This is more sinister. They are coming here. They are changing the demography. What are they coming for? You remember Osman Danfodio? How they came to Sokoto, to Kobri, to Kano, to Katsina, to be here. And what happened? They replaced the Abe rulers. They replaced the original people and took over the realms of power. They are coming. History is going to repeat itself if we don't act now. They are coming. History is going to repeat itself if we don't act now. They are not pretending about it.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming with war, destruction and death. They are coming to occupy our land. Why you cannot go to your community? In Obama, how many Obama people are at home? They are leaving their home and they are coming here. Obama is a village. You cannot come to Obama. Those of us who live in Obama, we are backward people. Buguma is a village. Abonima is a village. You don't care. You are not bothered. But when death will come, it will not only come for Dokubasari. When the evil and the tribulation will come, it will not come for only Dokubasari, it will come for all of us. I'm smarter than you. I know that I'm more prepared than you. And when it comes, I will also run faster than you. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. It's not grandstanding like Wiki. I got 14 people grandstanding. This is beyond grandstanding. This is a time for strategy. This is a time for consultation. This is a time for meeting. Our very survival is at stake. We must stand up and defend ourselves, or we will all perish in the hands of these blood-tasting monsters who will give us the Sokoto treatment.
Who will give them the Sokoto treatment? Only now he knows. Agalasha must come back. Regardless of what you are coming back for. But Agalasha must come back. Maybe in his mind, he is planning another way of deceiving people. That's why he starts speaking out the truth that is already spoken over the years by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That's why he starts reiterating on them. Because maybe there is a plot. Because this guy, I know that Awada was safe if an ankete. A toad does not run in the noon for no reason. So, there is a reason behind his motivation. I call it motivation. But this is exactly the reason why they have taken Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They told you that he is dividing the country. They told you that he is instigating people. Because he was telling you exact same thing that you are seeing happening today. They call it division. They call it secession. They call it hate speech. They call it different name. Everybody in Nigeria, almost everybody now, is now repeating it verbatim. Yet he is still in Nigeria court. For you to see a nation that does not take itself seriously. A nation that does not take itself seriously, where a justice system will be determined by which lawyer is actually presiding over the matter. A justice system will be determined depending on which lawyer is presiding over the matter, because it is a matter of a national, audience. They will decide that, no, this lawyer, you cannot be the one. As long as you are here, this lawyer, we are not going to, give the victim the victory. Or we are not going to, do the needful. As long as you are, there is, they decide to, they will kidnap you, put you in jail without jurisdiction. That's why you will see people will be taken from all this, from Anambra, taken straight to Kaduna, taken straight to Abuja. No jurisdiction. Nigeria's judiciary does not question and does not talk about the issue of jurisdiction, because jurisdiction is not in their book. That's why they prosecute people anyhow. They transport someone from Abuja, from Imo State to Abuja State. There is no lawyer or no judge, no competent judge that is supposed to entertain any matter of that nature. Because you cannot transport someone from Texas because you caught him in the act of criminality. You transport him from Texas to California or to New York City or to actually answer for their crime. It does not matter. Or even travel them to Los Angeles to go and answer for their crime because you believe that this is a place where more facilities are. That means the government does not have plan for your village. If there is no facility to plan, to try your own criminal, they don't have plan for you. You are just there as a, you just make up number. Because if you can, as a governor, arrest your own people from the east, you transport them to the north. It means that you are ceremonial where you are. As a first, as the chief security of such area, you are just ceremonial. And you are seeing yourself as people who are in power because you are seeing money to steal. That's exactly what you are doing. That's why the police does not have regard for you. That's why you cannot execute the law that is enacted by you, your policies, or enacted that by the state. You cannot work according to the law. That you will define the law of jurisdiction. You take our people from the east to the north, where they will be treated and subjected into less than a human, where violation of their human right is at its peak. In so doing, what is it that we are going to tell ourselves? We are doing great. We have a governor. I see what the governor of Abia State is doing, and he is working assiduously to prove to us, as long as you don't get carried away believing that politics is going to help you, it's going to bring whatever you want, or as he is proving to people that it is your governor. Dude, whether it is your governor or whether it is not your governor, the only reason why you are seeing economic challenges in your life as a person from Nigeria, it is as a result of this amalgamation. Because if there was no amalgamation, people will have right to protest. People will have right to vote and to be voted for. People will have right to vote and to remove a sitting leader. Because we are in a democratic dispensation. So now, if these things are happening, now Governor Oti or Governor of Abia State is now doing things that no one has ever done before. Congratulations to him, because he's doing it for himself. Whatever he is doing it for himself and for the sake of his posterity. He is not only doing it for the sake of the people of Imo State. He knows he is from there. And there is a saying that says, and there is a saying that says also that I've forgotten the adage, but I will remember it. But the man is doing what has never been done before. But the timing can be very tricky. The timing is very tricky. I might be called a skeptical person, but the timing is quite tricky. That is exactly what I've been trying to investigate to understand what exactly is going on. First in history, a governor that is from our side is now, trying to develop a state in Biafra land. You ask yourself, is it real? Sometimes you pinch yourself. Is it real? Now what is the politics all about? What is going on? What is going on? I still see it as a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. If the system did not allow all these governors that has been there before to loot and not be accountable to it, for it, and now somebody is developing so that we will blame it and say that it is about the government. What about the system? Because we don't have governors that are independently securing their land. That's why military can come in without, whether it's the order of government or the governor or not the order of the governor, military can still come in. So there is external power that controls the power of the governor. So the timing is very crucial. Like when you think diplomatically, the timing is very crucial. We know that our major problems are these politicians in these state levels, in the gubernatorial levels. They are our major problem because they will vow that we will eat it all as long as we dance to the tone of the master. And they continue to eat it all. Now for one to start doing it, I am still trying to understand what is going on. I believe me, I might sound so skeptical or overly skeptical, but I'm trying to, configure what exactly is going on because the timing is very, very crucial. Because I know, as long as we are still under this Nigeria, status quo, no matter what is done or built, as long as we don't have a full control of our lives, resources, our national integrity, we are not going to develop as a nation. We are not going anywhere. We see Rwanda was rebuilt. Rwanda was actually developed by Paul Kagame. Yes, if I am not mistaken, he transformed the Rwandans, infrastructure. But now, how many people are empowered in Rwanda? Because it is not mostly about introducing infrastructure that has never been there for many decades. Reintroducing it is quite okay, but reintroducing it without introducing adequate security, adequate job opportunities. We know infrastructure empowers economy and attract job creations. Quite all right. But that same force that is actually driving the country, the same force that is called Nigeria, the shadow, the dark cloud called Nigeria, is still going to be upon you. Imagine if a governor, put it in this perspective. I want you to always think about it in this perspective. Imagine a governor from Biafra land took it upon himself to do what has never been done in Nigeria. I am not saying in Biafra land, though, in Nigeria. So that people of Nigeria, when we are crying as Biafrans, they believe that we are crying because we are mostly affected by the wicked leadership in Nigeria. We are not really mostly affected because when you think about other nations, but we know where we're supposed to be. We are visionary people. We are very, very visionary. We are, millions of visionaries who want to transform Africa from the name given to it by the colonialists to the name given to it by God, to which God is praised. That we are able to do it. We are able to bring development. We are able to bring, we are able to bring revolution in every sector. They will never, ever change anything. You see, building infrastructure only does not empower lives. It takes holistic transformation, infrastructural transformation, economic transformation, education, transformation in educational, sector. It requires holistic transformation, because if you are not able to transform it holistically, now we have only Abia State doing it. And there are many Biafran, states that are still there, maybe still on the verge of accepting to serve the masters. It becomes problematic, because if all these governors were wise, once OT has exposed their small part of their nyash, they're supposed to come together and say, let us transform this place. Let us just transform this place so that we will build our own. Our own is our own. And then they will not think about it. The only thing they will be thinking about, how do I serve Fulani more? How do I pick up Mbweke and Mbafo and send them to Kaduna for Fulani to use them and dump them in the prison without a trial? Those are the things that these people will continue to think about. While our time is going. Time is ticking like a time bomb. If we do not reach head, awareness about our people rejecting Nigeria, or the people of Nigeria rejecting Nigeria created by Britain and controlled by Fulani, if we do not reach, to the peak of creating this awareness, even to the mind of these Fulanis that were given gun in the bushes of Nigeria, in the bushes of Senegambia, in the bushes of Mali, Niger, in the bushes of Burkina Faso, they will understand that religion is a tool of control and, a tool of control and destruction. It is not about which one you are affiliated with. To hell with it. Religion, the word RELIGION, it's a tool of destruction in this world. I am not talking about the book they claim it becomes the book of religion, because that book teaches you the principles of life. That's why they decided to take it and religionize it. Tell you it is our religious book. The book is on its own, has no problem. But that platform they created and they used that book to support it is where all the flaws are. If you will understand that if you buy people, you are not getting any virgin. If you will understand that you continue to adhere to the instruction of this political elite that their children are studying in abroad. They are studying abroad. You are moving cattle from place to place in the bushes, if you cannot understand that your life is you are living a life in infamy, and you continue to bequeath it to your children, start boiling down from generation to generation, you Fulani man who believe that religion because tells you that if you buy people, if you take over people land, you will have 100 virgin or 500 in the paradise. If you cannot, if you cannot wake up to ask yourself, why can't my children be abroad studying? Why can't my children be protected by securities? Why is it always this particular, group of people, cabals, that their children are actually having access to, better life, while we are here in the bushes carrying and doing their dirty work? Why can't you ask for your own empowerment? Religion is not doing anything for you because it is a tool of colonialism. Tool of colonialism. We had culture. We have our ways of life. And once people have their own way of life, you know what it boils down to? Both their own spirituality, both their own identity, both their own... Everything is, it's compiled when we talk about culture and tradition. So when they bring the baptism and name it religion, and now took the books that teaches us the principles of life, and now, they actually, turn it upside down, use it to brainwash us without even those things they told us that brainwashed us. Quoting it out of context. If it even exists in the book, they quote it out of context. And today, we are actually a bunch of confused people. Some people are fighting themselves because of religion. People are trying to defend what they don't know where it comes from. People are being disrespectful because they want to actually tell you that my religion is better than yours. People, it is actually bizarre situation because it becomes a situation, a conundrum, like everyone is on their own, trying to defend, hold on to it, not even open to understand what is going on. People will be, fighting you because you say that, you believe in Bible. People will start fighting you. If you say you believe in religion, people will start fighting you without trying to teach you, because it took them many years to teach what we found in our minds today from the childhood. If you want to actually make a person, to be stupid all their life, or to be under your captivity all their lives, start from childhood. Actually, infuse it into their education curriculum. You see, that time it was important for us to go to Sunday school. It was important for us to go to Islamic school. It was important. These things, they are very important in the, religious homes. Now we go there. The same way where they taught us this book that was belonging to our ancestors, which they made us to believe that it is those things that was sharpened, those artifacts that our ancestors were worshipping. They made us believe in those things. When our ancestors created those things for beautification, they created it for memories, that is actually eternalizing a moment or a particular event. That's what artifact is created for. They make us believe we are worshiping such things. Our creation, we create things and we start worshiping it. God did not create us to worship us. He created us that we may add value in the plans of God. That's why we were created. So you create artifact, you go back and start worshiping it and say it's your God. You must be stupid. Something is wrong with us. They made us to believe that it is about artifacts, but when they get hold of this artifact that they claim our ancestors were worshipping, they use it to beautify their museum. And people are paying millions of dollars. They are generating revenues in making people see these artifacts that they make us to, believe we are worshipping. And people who profess the desire of going back to their root believe that in the same way, the same root that was carved by this controller called the colonialist is the same root we are using. Now, that thing that we're supposed to be focusing on, why do you think the so-called book of religion, everything they used to brainwash you, they believe that it is coming from there? Why don't you go back to that book, read it and understand it, to understand why was this book used to actually, to brainwash me? If this book is used to brainwash me, my answers are there. There are answers you need to go get from there. It's not a book of religion. It is a book of events. It is a book of principle. It is a book of history. It is a book of prophecy. It is a book of guidelines. It is a book of life. Because when you read those books, you will see how people escape amidst their enemy. You will see how people win wars. Because there are wars in this world. Whether you like it or not, there will be Israel, there will be Palestine, there will be Russia, there will be Ukraine, there will be America, there will be the world, which is Babylon against the world. So, whether you like it or not, it must exist. So, the book talks about it. How did they navigate to win this war? It is about believing in themselves. It is about believing in what they have, they have inherited from their own ancestors. Believing on how their previous ancestors fought this war and his strategies, and trying to, revolutionize that strategy in order to get a better result as at the time that you are actually, planning. But religion will come and tell you that everything is so spiritual. It is so spiritual that you cannot fathom the physicality, or if you bring it in physical context, you cannot fathom, or you cannot make, any sense of it, because you are looking for what is under your feet. You are looking for it in the tower. Or you are looking for it, believing that you need to pull off from the firmament in order to find it. No. If I na chonu kenu, I am around order I know. And that has been the problem of every black man. Self-confidence was taken away by religious doctrine, because they want to bring to you a white Jesus, proving to you that if Jesus is white and he is the Son of God, which is supposed to be white as well, that means you as a black child, you're supposed to be the devil, and the devil will pray against you every day under this religion that they have established for us. They pray against us, the devil, every day. And these things, they place it even in our movies, that our children from childhood, we are watching it, we are seeing Jesus is white. That is why when you tell many people today, no, Jesus, that man they call Jesus as a white person, is never the main character. It doesn't even have anything to do with the main character. The race is different. They will tell you, why does the color matter? Dude. If the color matters to the oppressors, the color must matter to you. Because what is used to oppress you, what is used to actually, captivate your mind, you should actually use it to decaptivate your mind, to decolonize your mind from those, effect or aftermath of what it has done. I was speaking because we were in a school, the school where my kid attend, where parents are nominated for the governing body of the school. So, we were talking about, I was talking with one of the contestants. We were talking about the system of education that Africa practiced. And that system of education, it is still alive in Biafra land. But this the millennium way of looking, because of the hardship and the system which they have developed that controls our mind, our activities, and our curricula, that system will never allow us to bend down and go for that which we used to know. They will tell you, no, it's an old way, it's a bad thing, it's a dust, because they have transformed those type of things and call it slavery. And they have transformed, that type of slavery into, they have actually destroyed that type of slavery. And they now made it that anything that has that aspect or element of what they did in their slave days, which is still continuing, is actually being overruled. Now, let's find out. There was a video I said that our people started slavery, but it was on a positive note before it was bastardized, before they start reading the scripture and tell you it's a slave book. Now, I want you to know that word apprenticeship is our system of education, is one of our system of education. Those who does not want to go and do 1 + 1, 1 - 1. Let that 1 - 1 you are doing in theory, let's do it practically, because it is what we African children understand faster than what going to do theoretical of 1 + 1 is 1. Then you will tell me that a combustion engine is running on a 3 strokes. One is combustion, one is fuel, and the compression, the combustion, and all whatever. So you show them how these strokes works. You show them how to actually know when the strokes is actually working properly. It is our system of education. You go under apprenticeship, you will start working under somebody, learning this. Okay, let's find it. Let's just, make it easier. If you are an entrepreneur and I want to learn entrepreneurship, maybe you are an entrepreneur and you have a PhD in entrepreneurship, and you decided that, no, I want to learn to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to go to school and spend maybe my 7 years of my life to become a PhD holder in entrepreneurship, because I know that if I get the tips or the strategies of being an entrepreneur, I will do good. Now, instead of going to study for 5 years or 4 years or looking for PhD degree, you go under that person who is an entrepreneur and who is practicing the entrepreneurship and who is successful in it. You go under them. You master their strategy, because the strategy is what you need to master. It is learning. That is our system. That was our system of education. And people are now no longer following it, because if you don't have, they made it that mandatory that you will have a paper, the one that is signed in a paper, so that you will get a white-collar job. You can learn to be an entrepreneur without having academics, knowledge of entrepreneurship. Like what we call academics, like what I call academics is knowing how to speak English in entrepreneurship. But you have mastered the way the business and the success in entrepreneurship works. you will start doing it. You will even do better than the person with a PhD holder, because you are actually at school. You are at school and you are gaining experience while at school. You are at school in the field. So you don't really need, if you are going to get a white collar job eventually, you don't even need to go for internship or what you call industrial training, because you are in the industry practicing what you want to become. You practice it inside the field, inside the line of duty. What makes you think that you will not be the best more than those who academically, who went and write 1 plus 1, from 1 plus 1 they write algebra. From algebra, there is theory from there, because they want to have papers. And at the end of the day, they need maybe 5 years experience, 3 years experience. They studied for 7 years, but they need 3 years experience to work in a company that will even cater for them better than every other company. Have you seen? It will circle you back. It will take you back to the, to the main thing, experience. When you study in the field, you are killing two birds with one stone. You are studying for experience. You are gaining experience. You are actually gaining the knowledge. Not only experience and the knowledge, you are also working and making money. Have you seen that the system of education is 3-in-1? It supersedes every system of education that ever existed. That is the reason why they will make you to be inferior, so that you will start chasing after that thing which they will create for you. You find out the Europeans, most of them in many sectors, you might find out they don't have these papers, but they have the knowledge. So it is about who has that experience from the field. Then when they need a white collar, management, they need someone experienced in the field. When they need a white collar, they look for you. They will look for you. Who is in theory doing nothing, who doesn't even know anything. When they bring a machine, an engine, which you have studied in front of you, you don't know what to do with it. We were the best. They made us the worst, because we left our own. When people are claiming the desire, they want to go back to their root. I will always say they're putting it out of context. People think it's go and they start calling and start bringing artifacts and start bringing and calling them artifacts. They're calling artifacts in the chain and also that it is going back to our root. Going back to our root is about we bringing back our greatness that people saw, and they learned from it, they revolutionized it, and they bring it and sold it back to us. That's why our curriculum is always dependent on the Western agenda. We cannot make our curriculum because it must reach the Western standard. Why is it that when you go to this academic education, at the end of the day, we only speak English? We want to use English to destroy ourselves. Because it's about bragging who speaks better than who. If you speak better than me, it means that I must listen to you. Your sense of reasoning is better than mine. If I cannot speak that English, it means that I don't have any message. So that's the time you will spend in learning British language or French language or whoever your master is language will even be the time you're supposed to go to the field and make money. Why can't they translate our books to our language so that our children will do better. But it also bring it to, whether they translate it down to your language right now, you will never do it because you have your own way of education that is compatible to your mind, the type of mind you have. So if we cannot actually consider reintroducing such type of education and even have a certificate for it in Africa, we are not going anywhere. And that is the only way we can actually, start, bringing back our greatness. And that is the way we are going back to our root. It's not about going back to our root to go and worship artifacts. I don't say happy. No, it is not our root. That one is for beautification, history telling, and museum keeping. That is what our artifacts stand for. Whether the people call him, they mold it and tell you that this is Nkewa, it doesn't make any sense. It is molded. You cannot worship what you created. You can only create things for memory. You can create things for profit. So that thing you create cannot be your God. Let us look for our going back to our root more in our own development, not into this religion that is problematic. Going back to our root, we must reject religion, yes. But don't reject one religion which you don't know where it comes from to create another one which you don't know, where it comes from as well. Pray to your chi, pray to your God, pray to who created you. Don't ascribe to any religion, because religion has a lot of flaws: discrimination, slavery, mind captivity. It has a lot of flaws, lies, exploitation. So now you see all these things, you will find out that the reason why Biafra is fighting to go is because we know that there are many things we could do by ourselves. Fresh minds. We have seen the challenges. We cannot do it with the old mentality. We cannot do it with the old ways. Because what the Europeans were able to do was being able to stop our civilization and continue from where they stop it from. Of course, if we were in our right senses pre-colonialism, you will know that our civilization supposed to have taken us further than where we are today, following the European, so-called European civilization. Our civilization that was stopped, that was taken and revolutionized. The second industrial revolution, because the first started in Africa. That one, don't you think we might be in the sixth industrial revolution if they never come to distract us, or if they never come to steal it? And now it looks like a black man is the devil and the white man is the Jesus, the Savior, the God that will give you aeroplane when you want to fly, that will give you whatever that will make you comfortable and that will make you live luxuriously in this world. You get it only from a white guy, which is Jesus. No. You see what it is, why it is important. Had it been we did not reject our apprenticeship way of education, and we go and start seeking for academic education, 1+1, theory, when you know that education, the reason why white education is that if they are talking about medical research, if they are studying medical scientists, you will have a lab where you will be conducting your own, carrying out your own research, because they know that when we finish 1+1, we have to go and demonstrate it inside the lab. You don't have such facilities in Nigeria. You don't have it in Africa. Let me not use Nigeria. You don't have it in Africa. So how are you going to compete with a white boy who has it? You can never. They will continue to lead you. You will continue to be their followers. So what are you going to do as an individual of Homo sapiens, origin? What are you going to do? People with large brain, human being. It is to go back and think about it, where you left off, where they pick up, where you are actually, deceived, and how you are going to put your pieces together and come back to your greatness without minding whether you are on the second industrial revolution. If they are on the fifth, let them, it is okay. We continue to push. We sponsor our best, because what they were able to do better is that they actually pick up the best and nurture them. That's why when you talk about Freemasonry is like God of the world, because they pick up the best. They don't make the best, they take the best. And that is the schools. And that is the principles that governs every, institution in the world that is governed by Freemasonry. Now you will understand that if they want to, bring a school in your country, you know what they will choose? They will choose the best among the students. That's why they will have entry exams. Any school that has entry exams, that is international school, belong to this category of what I'm saying. Because they are trying, the way they build brand is they choose the best to be amongst that brand. Now, in terms of school, they have their own exams you must write. If you are able to pass it, they know that you are qualified. They are not going to, they are not going to make you great. They chose you because you are already great. They now continue normally, so that they will not kill their reputation. So that when you write exams or any exams, external exams, or you will actually come out with a flying color. And do you know where they will attribute the praise to the institution? That this institution, they are the best, they don't fail, they don't do this. But if you cannot pass that exam, you don't meet the criteria, because they don't create people. They don't create greatness. They pick greatness. They don't create them. They don't know how to create greatness. They don't know how to actually nurture people to be great. They pick already made and make them great. Already made and make them great. They continue to maintain that brand. They continue to maintain that standard. That's why most of the schools that are very expensive, they don't just take anybody from anywhere, because they cannot nurture you. They take the ones that they can be able to nurture, to maintain them as the best when they are not. So that is the politics. That's the way it is. That is Freemasonry. That is what rule the world. They take the God, the ones that can, when they put them together, they become the God of that moment. That's what they are. That's why they are ruling the world. And that's why you will continue to be follower. You will continue to be ruled, because your leaders are the servants in those areas. And unless we go back to our root, I am not talking about religious going back to our root. It is not about religious going back to our root. It is about holistically going back to our root and making sure that we call ourselves great. We call ourselves the God, because he made us in his own image. Instead of seeing ourselves as the God, the devil and the darkness that must die by fire. That's why the reason for that creating of white Jesus is important, because we must bring back our black Jesus. We must bring it back in order to empower our own generation. Create that Jesus that is the greatest, the Savior, in our own skin color, to bring back our confidence, our greatness, and to empower our children